Hi all and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Thank you for clicking on another video. If you enjoy it, please subscribe, it goes a long way. It's review day and we have got the Discovery ED PRS Gen 2 from Discovery Optics, and that is the 5-25-56 first focal plane precision rifle scope. So let's get into the video and see what it's all about. So what do you get in the box and how well is it packaged? Well, as you can see, it's packaged very nicely and everything is in its own individual slot. So that's going to protect it from getting knocked, bumped or banged when being delivered. You have your specification card, which gives you all your information on the scope. You have your instruction manual, which is all in English. You've got a quality control check-in and inspection card. You have an assembly procedure card where everything is all stamped down the side to say that it's all been checked. You get your lens cleaning cloth. Of course, you get the ED PRS Gen 2 scope itself. You get the 3-inch sunshade. We have a lens cleaning pen. We have a nice little throw lever, and I think that'll probably be for your magnification ring. We have a scope leveling kit. Now, I've never seen or used one of these, so I'm excited to use that and see what that's all about. It comes with flip up lens covers, and it comes with high profile Picatinny scope rings. Now, it's all well and good companies throwing all that sort of stuff in the box, but do they do that just to take your eye away from the scope? We'll find out. So let's take a closer look at the scope itself, and I'm just going to visually check it and make sure everything is lined up and how it should be. And I've got to say, this scope feels and looks absolutely quality. Look at the size of the turrets on that. So anyway, let's run through a few of the specs with you. Of course, this is the ED PRS Gen 2, and that's the 5-25-56. You have a magnification of 5-25. Your reticule is a first focal plane or FFP. You have an eye relief of 3.4 inches with a click value of 0.1 MRAD. Your max elevation is 36 MRAD. Your windage is 17 MRAD, or MRAD for short. You have an objective lens of 56mm, and from what I've measured out, your ocular lens is 38mm. Your tube is a 34mm tube, and you have an illuminated reticule with 6 different power levels with an off switch in between each power level. The length of this scope is 16 inches or 415mm without the included 3-inch sunshade. The weight of this scope is 44.3 ounces or 1,255 grams. It's shockproof, it's waterproof, it's fog-proof, it's nitrogen filled. It features the lovely ED glass, and of course your side focus is from 25 to infinity. So let's move on. We'll check all the moving parts and make sure everything is working as it should. So let's start with your diopter focus. Now, if you don't know what this does, or you're just starting out, it is the adjustment to get your crosshair crystal clear. My advice is to look at a blank wall and adjust this until you get a clear crosshair. But that seems very smooth indeed, and there is a lot of adjustment there. Yeah, that's really smooth. There's no notchiness to it. That's absolutely spot on. So let's move forward to your magnification, which is 5 to 25. Very smooth. It is very smooth, but it's a bit tighter than what I would like it to be. But at the same time, I have thought about that and put in the throw lever, which just screws in to this little hole here. So we'll screw that in and we'll see how much difference that makes. Well, that makes it a lot easier to adjust. A lot easier to adjust with that on. So thumbs up to Discovery for popping that in, because it's a quality item as well. It's not plastic, it's all metal, and that makes it very, very easy to adjust, and that is smooth as well. Like I say, it's a little bit stiff, but it'll probably loosen up over time. So let's check these turrets out. Look at the size of those. They're huge. So let's check those out and see if there's any sloppiness. Very definitive clicks, very tactile positive, and I like the knurling around the cap itself. That gives you a lot of grip, and there is no wobble to that at all. So again, with your windage, I don't know if you can hear that, but that is very definitive with the clicks. And again, there is no movement in that turret at all. So let's move on to your side focus now. Now this is your 25 to infinity side focus. That is quite stiff. That is a lot stiffer than what I would like it to be. Again, there's no notchiness to it, but it is very stiff, and I'm hoping that that will loosen up over time. But yeah, it's not too bad. You know, it is smooth, but it's a lot stiffer than what I would like, to be honest with you. But like I say, it might loosen up over time. Now, I did forget to mention previously that the top turret is a 0 stop as well as your side. Now, they've made it really easy to get to your 0 stop on the top turret. All is what you need is a slotted tool, or in my case, a 10p piece. And what you do is you just unscrew this bit here. You take that bit out. This top cap then will pop off, and then underneath there you've got like a cog with 2 grub screws in. You loosen your grub screws, you drop the cog down and you rotate it until it hits a stop. You then put your cap back on so your 0 is lined up with the middle of your tube. And all is what you do then is you take your cap, screw that back on, and that's your 0 stop set. To get to your side one, you have 2 grub screws. So you have one here and you have one there as well. And you do exactly the same with that. You take those grub screws out, pop it off, you'll have a cog underneath, 2 grub screws to loosen, pop your cog down, turn it until it hits the stop, pop your cap back on, again on 0 with the line just here, nip it all back up, and you're good to go. So with this being a 34mm tube, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go and buy scope rings to fit this. But no, They put in the 34mm Picatinny rings as well in the box. Now I know this is a scope review, not a ring review, but while we're here we may as well check out these. They come in a nice carry case, and you know what, they actually feel very, very good quality. And what I like about what they've done with this, to try and keep the weight down, they've actually put weight saving slots in your mounts. Oh, and that's handy as well. They've also put your torque settings on your scope rings. So you have your torque setting there, and you also have your torque settings on the front as well. Comes with 2 spare screws and your Allen wrench as well. So that's a nice touch. This scope leveling kit I've never used, but I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute on the next part. So the rifle I've decided to put this scope on is the AGT Vixen. The rifle's new to me, the scope's new to me, so I thought I'd go with a completely new setup. But this part of the video is to explain how the scope leveling kit works. As you can see from the box, it's got 2 different size leveling bits and your L-shaped bracket with a slot cut out there. So as you can see, I've left this loose. It's tightened down to the rail, but I've left the scope loose just to show you how this scope leveling kit works. So you start off with your L-shaped bracket with a slot cut out at the top. You slide that onto your rail. You then take your correct size leveling bit and you slide it in from the thin end first. So you slide that bit in, keep pushing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it until your scope levels out just like that. Then all is what you do. Take your Allen wrench, tighten down your top caps, and you're ready to zero. And then comes the fun part. Let's get this out, field tested, and we'll do a through the scope view using the PARD 007V. Right, down the farm, and I've just zeroed in the Discovery ED PRS Gen 2, and I've got to say this scope is absolutely magic. It is absolutely incredible. The amount of light and the clarity that you get through this scope, because of it being a 34mm tube, it's working absolutely faultless, and that's going to be perfect for your dusk and dawn shooting if you're doing a bit of hunting. The scope is also going to be perfect if you want to do medium to long range shooting. Now I'm not sure how this scope is going to marry up with the PARD, but I've got some targets set out. Well, say targets, the farmer has kindly lent me some eggs because I've left my spinners at home, and they're set out from 30 to 45 yards. So I'm going to do a through the scope view for you so you can see for yourself how nice this scope is. But looking through it with the naked eye, oh my god, it is absolutely incredible. Let's hit them targets. So the machinery that you're seeing now is at 30 yards and the tyres in the background are at 95 yards. Let's zoom into 10 magnification, adjust that side focus and see how clear we can get this picture. No, I don't think that's too bad. Not too bad at all. Now I'm not too sure how the footage has turned out for that, but if there is any graininess to it or darkness, believe me, it's not the scope. It'll be the fact that the PARD just didn't marry up with the scope too well. Take a look at that. It oozes quality, and that ED glass is absolutely beautiful in this scope. Big thank you to Discovery Optics for sending me the ED PRS Gen 2 for review, and that is going to live on this rifle for a very long time. Now if you do wish to purchase one of these scopes, there is going to be an exclusive link in the description along with a 20% discount code that you can use before checkout. I hope you enjoy the review. I'll see you on the next one. I'm going to get back to shooting.